also lacks quality defensive midfielders. The consecutive poor results in the Premier League make MU's problem increasingly exposed, which is the absence of a quality defensive midfielder. After witnessing MU's 2-4 defeat to Leicester, Gary Neville emphasized, "We all see MU's starting choice, with Greenwood, Pogba, Sancho, Ronaldo, and Fernandes. I don't want to be a defender of the team. They're good players, but they can't play side by side." Neville has a point in making this remark. All 5 stars listed are attacking players. This 5-man club will certainly have strong firepower, but football is not a game that just throws a good player on the field to win. Real Madrid's Galacticos 1.0 dynasty collapsed after Claude Makélélé left, although Zinedine Zidane, Luis Figo, Fat Ronaldo, Raúl González, or David Beckham are still at their peak. MU is currently facing a similar problem when the defensive pedestal is not strong enough for the attacking stars to shine. Defensive midfield space. Against Leicester, Coach Ole Solskjaer used Nemanja Matic in the defensive midfield position. The Serbian in his prime was one of the good options in this position, but at 33, Matic was too slow and almost stunk in front of Leicester City's mobile midfield. James Maddison and Youri Tielemans spent 90 minutes freely running without encountering any resistance from the middle area. Matic is too easily overcome when he is out of breath in situations that require strength, while Paul Pogba, Matic's partner, has once again been pushed into the position where he has played the worst since joining MU. When Leicester pushed up the squad to push MU to the home field in the middle of the second half, Matic and Pogba were under so much pressure that they often failed to pass, directly damaging the defense to suffer face-slapping attacks. If David De Gea is not excellent, MU can lose more heavily. Who scored rated Pogba 5.8 points this match? The number with Matic is quite better than 6.5 points. The disastrous performance of options in midfield once again highlights the problem from MU's many seasons. They lack a high-class interception midfielder who is willing to make the background for ball stars like Pogba and Fernandes to shine. MU actually has 3 people to take on this role: Matic, Fred, and Scott McTominay. But quantity does not equate to quality. Matic, as mentioned, is old and gradually walks to the back door at Old Trafford. Scott McTominay is again a midfielder who plays with a lack of mind and enthusiasm to compensate for his shortcomings. Fred is the worst when he lacks wisdom, plays without enthusiasm, and recently created trouble when he openly demanded to play a more offensive position. Over the past 3 years, Solskjaer has struggled to find a formula to run MU midfield. Solskjaer has always wanted to play with a 4-2-3-1 formation, despite the fact that Pogba has never played well in the central midfield role in this formation. Solskjaer once almost solved the problem when he pushed the French midfielder to play on the left wing. But to make room for attacking stars like Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial, or now Jadon Sancho, Pogba was pushed into this position and proved ineffective. Observers have said for many years that MU is forced to buy a high-class defensive midfielder to serve as a pedestal for the top attacking stars. But the Red Devils still ignore to believe in Fred, McTominay, and constantly pour money to strengthen the attack, the MU line, which has an excess of personnel. Declan Rice was once named only as the person who would solve MU's problems. But the price of £100 million is too big a barrier for MU to promote the deal. Besides Rice, MU has never looked for anyone else to fill this important position, resulting in the current failure. MU miss Roy Keane. The last time MU owned a world-class defensive midfielder was the story of nearly 20 years ago, when Roy Keane was still captain at Old Trafford. Today's audience often remembers Keane as a hot-tempered captain, with an uncompromising fight with Patrick Vieira and the ball phase to destroy the opponent. However, Keane is actually an all-round defensive midfielder. The Irish legend once recounted the conversation before the debut of Nottingham Forest's first team with his teacher Brian Clough. He asked me, "Do you know how to hold the ball?" I replied, "Yes." "Can pass?" "Yes." "Can dribble?" "Yes." "Yes." Go out and do those three things at the same time. I've played like that all my career. It sounds funny, but not all midfielders can do that. Believe it or not. It depends. At MU now, Matic knows how to hold and pass the ball, but is too slow to dribble. McTominay knows how to dribble, but holds and passes poorly. Fred is a special case, when he does nothing but is still trusted as the main kick. With three such options to kick a defensive midfielder, MU does not decline, is unbelievable. Throughout history, MU has been successful in owning a midfield with non-floral but knowledgeable factors and always playing well, from Brian Robson to Keane, or later Michael Carrick. As long as this gap is not filled, MU will still suffer the same defeats as before Leicester, and far from the dream of returning to the top of English football.